Okay, it's Monday, May 13th, 2019. We're looking at the 30-minute time frames, and it's actually, we're heading into the Asian trading session for May 14th. So I didn't open any new positions here, especially with the euro dollar, because we were already long euro dollar from Friday. I generally don't like holding on to positions through the weekend, but this one wasn't going to be likely to experience anything out of the ordinary. So we had a relatively tight stop and the take profit level on the trade, so it's still in play. And I'm going to trade this or manage this position for a little while longer, probably through the Asian and the London session to see just exactly where I can get out with a decent profit on this one. And pound dollar is printing the HL30 trade. So on another pullback, if it retests and holds, I would consider going long pound dollar. Dollar yen, in my opinion, is still going to go lower. It's probably going to bounce around and retest this level from yesterday, which is about the 109.46, maybe a little bit higher and then come back down. But I'll be waiting for an opportunity to try and sell that one. And dollar Swiss, in my opinion, is still in a stronger downtrend with the least amount of possibility where it would retrace to about 80 pips or something like that. Something similar to what I was looking at in the dollar yen. But I'm going to stay away from this one. I still think that trying to trade a bounce right now is too early. I don't know how far it's going to go. I think that the range is going to be tight and the pressure is going to be or remain to the downside. All this could change. I could see a strong 1 hour or 4 hour candle that would print a good solid bounce. Maybe at that point I would change my mind. But what I'm looking at is that price and the pressure is so strong to the downside here. I think that maybe the retracements or the bounces are going to be just really small. I mean, they're going to be really minor and not worth trading, and not, for sure that when we see the reversal, the bearish engulfing candle or some kind of an evening star pattern, again, it could just remain sideways for a little while. It's really interesting to see how the market's reacting, especially overnight. And when I say overnight, what I mean is the overnight trading range and the hours when the U.S. stock market is closed. So we're going to get a lot of well, we've seen it lately, but we're going to get a lot of tweets, comments, commentary, a lot of speculation, market reacting. Today was relatively easy to determine just about the levels that the stock market was going to close at. Even though we get these strong bounces, there are certain days that it's just not going to hold. I think that looking at that type of behavior, considering that until we get more clarity on what's going to happen, we're likely to see the same behavior. And this one, I'm probably just going to stay away from it. I think that the trend, again, is too strong. I don't want to pick tops and bottoms on this one. I would rather see a significant retracement and then a reversal. But I just don't know how far this retracement is going to move. I don't even know if it's worth trying to trade anything off of this support low. It looks like a possible HL30, but I'm not trading it as an HL30. The downtrend is much too strong for this one. So let's take a look at the daily time frames. Let's go back over here. So we're looking at the euro dollar. Euro dollar, let's go back over here and tighten this up. We had it breaking down some of these key resistance levels from the beginning of the year and November back over here. This was a pretty important low. And then we had that head fake. That was back in February. And then it started to collapse. Things were making lower lows. But earlier this week, or today, we had an opportunity or situation where price actually took out the high here. So it looked like we had a new A low, B high, C retracement here to the 618, holding the candle bodies here, holding on the daily time frame. So the next step, now I'm not calling for a trade to go long. I'm not saying that it's going to go too much further. I don't know that until I get confirmation here. And my next line of confirmation, my next the next reaction or the next step for confirmation, the price is going to go higher to some of these extension targets, would be when a candle here on the daily chart closes above that B high. Now that hasn't happened yet. I don't know when it's going to happen. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen the next day. It really could also be a reaction to economic data. It really depends. It's always going to be a different situation. But anyway, we can see how things are sort of flattening here right around this resistance level, but it doesn't mean that this short-term uptrend is over with just yet. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Dollar, this is the pound dollar daily time frame. This one, in my opinion, is just stuck in this range right here, and I really don't want to trade it right now. I mean, I would consider trading what I was talking about earlier, maybe an HL30 if it holds at this support low. Here, what you see is the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame, and it has acted as a somewhat indicator as far as a range of support. And what I mean by an indicator is just like that visual, when you're glancing through your charts, you're looking for key support and resistance levels quickly to decide whether or not you should be playing around or trading one particular currency over another. You can see that it is creating a relatively important support low, but the price low here is what I'm going after. This sort of just draws my attention to the fact that there is a support low forming here, and it's retesting that support low. So I'll keep an eye on it. I mean, technically it looks okay, but it really depends on economic data, the reaction. Maybe we'll get some comments out of Brexit that might change things around a little bit and give us a little boost. I'm not really too sure. I'm not ready to trade the pound dollar just yet, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. This is the pound. This is the dollar yen daily time frame. So this one took out a key support low here at 109.70 area. This low right here. Let me go ahead and open this up so that we can get the exact date on that. That was a key support low here on March 25th. So it has closed below that low. I still think that it's going to go lower, but it wouldn't surprise me to see some kind of a retest, maybe. And usually what we see is a retest of the level that it broke out of. That's possible. Sometimes they go a little bit further. Sometimes they hold right at that number, that level perfectly. And then other times they fall just short of it. So we've got to keep an eye on it. But I think we're probably going to see some kind of a reversal here, a short-term reversal, meaning that a retest of the level that it broke out of. Going back to the dollar Swiss, as I said, this one's in a really strong downtrend, and I really don't want to trade opposite that just yet. I don't want to go long right away until I have more confirmation. I don't have like a real key support low here. There's a range or a pocket of resistance in here. Back over here from this is the end of November and December of last year, but you can see where price is now over here to the right. We've got a long ways to go before it runs into a range like that. So I'll keep an eye on it. But again, I'm not going to trade a bounce on the dollar Swiss just yet. I need more confirmation that this is going to stop. So that is pretty much it. I mean, it was just most of today was just sitting and watching and waiting. There was some activity and there was some movement, but I wanted to do it carefully. I mean, in a situation like this, with these conditions, people speculating on why the market's crashing, where it's likely to stop, what's going to stop it, what's going to hold it up. When we get in a situation like that, a lot of comments can cause some sharp reversals, and I don't want to get in a situation where I get stopped out prematurely just because I'm using a small stop to protect myself. I'd rather wait. I'd rather wait for price to reach a significant support or resistance level and then trade that reaction, or trade the news as I know that everybody else is trading it, meaning that there really isn't going to be any change in the news itself. It is what it is for, a tradable opportunity for maybe an hour or two or three. Generally the same kind of experience that we get when we trade the New York trading session. Sometimes the London session provides those kind of trades for me, but I'll keep an eye on it. I'll send out the next update at this time tomorrow on Tuesday.